You know what's bumming me out? I realize what bums me out. I watch too much news, man. War, famine, death, AIDS, homeless, recession, depression, war, famine, death, AIDS. Over and over again. Watch CNN. It's the most depressing thing you'll ever see, man.
It's true. I mean, look at the power differences. And that's the same thing with what we're dealing with right now with those who are perpetrating genocide under the guise of public health and national security. Is it's all a front, it's all a fraud, and it's just darkness. People's fear is perpetuating it. The conspiracy, the major conspiracy, is a conspiracy of silence, because people are in fear by indoctrination. And that's what the whole culture is about. The American medical culture is like the religious culture. You know, all of the isms, you know, basically play on people's fear. You're going to fear of dying, going to hell, or your fear of dying of cancer, and take this pill for it. You know, it's basically the same manipulation. And so instead of we the people being freed with the truth that shall set us free, which is basically love, not fear. And we got everything we need right now. We've got all the solutions, every single problem, every single urgency facing planet Earth, and it's simply being suppressed by the status quo.
Suppressing technology, suppressing
hydrogen fuel, all of the eco-sound, sustainable, permacultural remedies, the way that we can feed ourselves, the way that we can hydrate ourselves, the way that we can live and love together as blessed beings who are meant to live in joy. What's the Constitution about? Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. It's not manipulation, coercion, enslavement, intoxication, fascism. You know?
Sovereignty.
And what's the trigger? The trigger is the media. The trigger is basically mass mind control for cultural indoctrination is through mainstream media. And when you basically do what you're doing right now through We the People, the internet, and you make Senator J. Rockefeller uncomfortable for the truth being spoken, and we the people are tuning out of you know, the Murdoch News Corps monopoly and the Thomas Gloser Reuters news service serving the Merck Pharmaceutical Company as executive director of Merck to give us propaganda so we'll get injected, infected, intoxicated, and depopulated. Essentially now we wake up, and that's the light. The darkness cannot exist. There's this whole other manipulation of the media and the mass mind control. We're now sublimated, subjugated to this whole conspiracy of being dumbed down. What's spirituality? Frequency, resonance, energy. That's who we really are. But we're indoctrinated into popping magic pills to cure every ill. We think of ourselves as physical beings first, and we chemically pollute ourselves and everything else because we're literally cut off from the greatest truth that shall set us free. The greatest truth is you're a spiritual being. The greatest truth is that it's the Love 528 frequency channel that brings us life, that sustains us right here, right now. That's what electrogenetics is really all about. You know how prayer works?
Power of intention.
It's a power of loving intention to create a miracle. But then what's the technology? That's the method. But what's the actual technology of that? It's the same technology that created us. Everything in the universe was created with love. And the heart of the entire universe, the entire electromagnetic color spectrum, the heart of the sound spectrum, what's called the musical mathematical matrix that the physicists, you know, basically understand mathematically represents the fundamental frequency resonance of the quantum field. That is at the center of that is 528 love. So what does that mean? It means that the Creator created from the heart, just like we create, from loving, heart-filled, loving intention, miracles in prayer, for healing, for sustaining, for manifesting and co-creating. It's all loving intention. Tesla knew that. Tesla prayed with every instrument he ever developed. Before he started to develop his technologies, he would pray for the guidance to develop them, and then before he turned them on, he would pray that they worked. And half the times that he failed to pray over the technologies, they didn't work. In the beginning, there was the Creator, there was the water. Genesis 1:2 says that in the beginning, the Holy Spirit of the Creator hovered over the face of the water. So Genesis 1:1 says there is the Creator and the water, then there's the Holy Spirit mentioned, and then you divide the water from the water to create the firmament or the ether in the Bible, which is the quantum field in physics, into which the sound, let there be light. Let there be light. That eliminates the darkness. The darkness cannot stand the light. It runs. It can't come up against it. It can't do anything like, this is my experience. This is why I'm still alive. Besides the grace of the Creator, besides the protective angels, I should have died many more than 6 times. I'm aware of 6 times. But the reality is that we are created and sustained hydrosonically from love. And when you're in that, they can't get you. It's, yea, though we walk through this valley in the shadow of death, we shall fear no evil. Because evil can't get you when you're in the light.
Just to concur with that, I just recently saw your website, and I tuned my guitar to 528 and started falling asleep to that frequency. And it's like, there's something real there. I was like, I don't understand fully what's going on, but I feel amazing, and the's something very real there.
Let me explain that again. What's real?
Holy Harmony is a great...
The Holy Harmony CD, yeah. What you're feeling is what's been missing from our culture. It's in the process of cutting us off from that heartfelt love and that power of spirituality that we all radiate. That's a heart communication. Now, what happens when you are tuning your radio? Say you're grooving to 99.6, right? And you tune to 99.7. You lose the clear channel broadcast. It turns to static. When you're tuned to A440 standard tuning, which was instituted in the 1930s by the Rockefellers funding the American Musicians Union, and that went nowhere, and so they gave that project over to the Nazi propagandist Goebbels.
It makes so much sense, like in how in Western culture we're so like intellectualized. We're like soulless.
Exactly. So here's what happens. So when you play music in A440, it stimulates from here up. So it's all egoic stimulation, right? So, but it suppresses from here down. And the communion, the divine human communion, the human source of miracle making is from the heart, loving intention. So that's what they did intentionally, just like English. Right now, I'm speaking the most spiritually suppressive language that's ever been invented in the history of this planet. That's the New World language for the New World Order of indoctrinated slaves. Fully, complete, mind-controlled, manipulated, and dumbed down to the max so that we would never rise up, because if we rose up with supreme power of intelligence, everything that you're witnessing out here, all the structures, the squares, there's nothing in the universe that's square. Nothing, except the stupid human being's, mind. Everything is circular, it's round. And everything's sacred geometry, essentially. It's all sourcing from sacred geometry.
Well, doesn't your DNA also vibrate on the 528 frequency?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Everything is. That's the main clear channel broadcast. So if you want to tune into your optimal self and then not have to pop another pill, not have to do anything except commune with the Creator and commune with the angels that have a unique calling for you, a unique direction. You're gifted uniquely. You've got genetics that basically is a spiral because it's a Tesla coil. It's an energy receiver and amplifier. And all the Rockefeller hogwash about what DNA is, that it's a DNA protein synthesis template, that's 3% of the function. So, you can thank your parents 3% of you being here right now. And you can thank your parents maybe 3% for having brown eyes right now. But you can thank God right now, 94% of you manifesting right here instant to instant. It's because you're being vibrated hydrosonically.